Alright guys, here are 7 biblical laws that transformed my life and business. Now, when I was about 18, maybe 17, I was sitting inside my car, outside the gym. My hands were just shaking, and I was just staring at a piece of paper. And it would change everything for me. It was the basketball roster. My name wasn't on it. 3 years of 5 a.m. workouts. 3 years of believing this was my way out. Gone. But I remember that taste, that moment. It was bitter, like swallowing shards of glass. I drove home in complete silence. And for the first time in my life, I had no idea who I was without a ball in my hands. What I didn't know in that moment, in that parking lot, was that God was already writing a different story. God's word, it had a playbook I'd never opened. Not just for getting back up, but for becoming the person I never thought possible. 7 laws that would transform everything. My business, my mind, my entire view of the world. Even the way I automated my entire life. Now, if you stay with me for the next couple of minutes, you'll walk away with some of the same blueprints that took me from sleeping on my friend's couch. Well, I guess you'll just have to stick around to see. Alright, so here is law number 1. The law of vision. Now stop me if you've heard something like this before. If you don't have a vision, you will perish. So now, 2 years after that basketball disaster, I'm standing in front of a restaurant, right? And then I'm inside that restaurant at 2 a.m. still. I'm covered in flour and grease all over me, just wondering, how did I get here? Now this guy, the owner, he made 7 figures a year at least. And he was having a complete meltdown because he can't figure out why his automated marketing system is hemorrhaging money. And I'm watching this successful man, completely lost. And then it hit me. All his systems, all his automation, all of his technology, absolutely worthless. Because he was automating chaos. The Bible puts it brutally simple, like I said before. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But here's what most people miss. It's not just about having a vision. It's about having a vision so clear, straight from God, and that you can even make your systems know that they're going in the right direction. Now that night, I wrote my first real vision on a greasy notepad. Not some jumbled, scattered dream. A crystal clear picture of who I was becoming. And then everything changed for me. Because when you can see it, you can build it. And when you can build it, then you can actually automate and find solutions. But vision, without that next law, it's still worthless. Maybe not worthless, but close to it. And what I learned about discipline, it almost broke my entire being. So we're going to move on to law number 2. The law of diligence. The law of diligence. Talent, it's a lie that successful people tell you, right? Do you remember those 5 a.m. basketball workouts I mentioned? Here's what I never told anyone before. I wasn't there because I was dedicated. I was there because I was terrified. I was terrified that everyone else was naturally just better than I was. But something magical happens in those empty gyms. While those so-called talented guys were sleeping, I was getting a little bit better, incrementally better, every single practice. Not because I wanted to, but because I absolutely had to. And we're going to fast forward a little bit to my first business failure. That's right. I thought I could just smooth sail and coast on a good idea. I thought I was smart enough. And although I might be smart enough, I watched more talented people, they just zoomed right past me while I just sat there wondering what went wrong. In God's word, the Bible, it doesn't lie. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings, not mean men. So here's a secret that nobody talks about. Automation is just diligence at scale. Every email sequence, Every system I created, it was showing me to show up when I wasn't physically present. But spiritually, I was. But you still have to show up first. The people who are crushing it right now, they're not smarter than you. They just show up when it's inconvenient. But showing up without the third law, that's how everything that I built, I almost lost it all.